So me and my friend sat at this cafe and we see a group of girls walk by. He taps my shoulder and says like, yo, they're beautiful, man. And I tell him like, yo, bro, go talk to them. Then I see his face turn like, nah, I don't really want to talk to, I can't really talk to them, but I don't know how to talk to girls. And I was just telling him like, bro, you just gotta walk up to them, like say what's up. You just gotta introduce yourself, that's it. But it's like he really didn't want to. He really did not know how. And I asked him, bro, are you afraid of rejection? He said, no, not really. I'm not afraid of rejection. It's just I feel uncomfortable cold approaching girls. If you feel like it's uncomfortable to cold approach a woman, then it's most likely one of two reasons. First one is you've never cold approached someone before, or you're just scared of being rejected. For my friend, it was the first option, where he had never cold approached someone before, and so it was pretty uncomfortable for him to step out of his comfort zone and start talking to someone out in the streets. If you're this type of person who's never really cold approached someone before, and you feel like it's really uncomfortable, you're stepping out of your comfort zone, just know that that feeling is not gonna go away. Like, even after you've cold approached a few times, it's still gonna be there. So there's not really any trick to get rid of this feeling, because even if you were to cold approach 100 girls, it's still gonna be there. It's still gonna be there. So instead of trying to cope and say like, no, I'm trying to wait for this feeling to go away. I'm trying to wait for the right moment, the right girl, the right this and this and that. Instead of like waiting for the right moment, which is never gonna come, then instead you should like just confront your fears. Because I said this feeling is not gonna go away. Like even I get this feeling sometimes when when I cold approach girls. It's normal. But the best way to handle this feeling when you feel like this is to just confront it. Is to just do it anyways. Because when you do it anyways, that's when you can actually like it's when you actually go against or confront your fears. That's when it actually affects you less the next time. So let's say there's a girl right in front of me, or there's a girl walking down the streets, okay? And I see her, she's beautiful. And I want to cold approach, I want to talk to her. If I sat there waiting, nah, or if I felt this emotion like, nah, it's uncomfortable, I don't want to do that, which we all get, by the way. But if I get that emotion, if I'm like, no, I don't want to do it, and then I decide not to do it, I'm not improving one bit. Whereas if I were to actually feel this feeling and think like, nah, fuck it, straight up just walk up to her and start talking to her, the next time it's gonna be a little bit easier. And for some people, it's like they just need that first interaction, you know? It's like some people might find it really, really hard to cold approach someone because they've never done it before. But once they've done it like once or twice, they feel like, oh, this wasn't so bad. And they actually become good at it. It's not actually that hard for them. That's because it's just that initial step of getting out of your comfort zone. That's what's stopping you from actually cold approaching. Now, if you've actually, sorry. Now, if you've actually cold approached a few girls before and you're just scared of rejection, then that's a different story. If you haven't cold approached anyone, or if you have and you're still just scared of rejection, so you've stopped, my only advice for you is to just, I want to tell you like, my advice is like just not to care, but I know that won't really work. It never worked for me, that kind of advice. Like, don't care what they think, do it anyways, stop caring what other people think. I mean, that's the real advice that people give, but for me personally, it never kind of worked. For me, I needed like kind of a pressure. I needed someone to tell me like, oh, if you don't do it, you're a bitch. If you don't do it, you're the biggest pussy. When my friend sat beside me and told me like, if you don't talk to her, you got no balls. You're the biggest bitch. And with a group of people there, when they put that pressure on me, that's when like I actually started to take action. Not when someone told me, oh, don't care what they think, don't care what other girls think, don't care what the people think. For me, that never really worked because I cared. Like, you can tell me don't care, but I still kind of cared, you know? But if you put that pressure on me, where if you told me like, if you don't do this, you're a bitch. If you don't do this, you're a pussy. You got no balls. Then it's like, you're challenging me. You're competing with me. And when you're competing with me, I don't want to lose. And so I'm gonna actually like try to actually do it. That works for me. So if you're like kind of like me, you feel like, oh, this generic advice doesn't work, like don't care what they think. Try to get some people to put like some peer pressure on you. But I know some guys that are just too pussy to like actually fall for peer pressure, to actually like be competitive. If you're a competitive guy, make people challenge you, make people compete with you, make people put pressure on you, make a competition with your friends of who can cold approach the most girls. And if you're competitive, and one of your friends start to cold approach one girl, it's like now you have to cold approach someone else because you don't want to lose. That's what worked for me, anyways. I hope that works for you guys. And yeah, it's a pretty short video. If you want to learn more about cold approaching women and start to actually talk to them, I got a paid community in the link below. I also got a free Discord server you can join. But yeah, that's enough for me. See you guys. Take care.